Hello. Here we are in John. Just moving along. We're in chapter 8 today. And it starts the same as chapter 7 ended, and that's with tension between Jesus and the Jewish leaders just continuing to be worse and worse. And so this tension and hostility continues to build in every chapter of John. And as more and more people were becoming convinced that Jesus was the Messiah, the Jewish leaders became more and more threatened and hostile. Well, Jesus declared himself the light of the world and the source of the light of life. With water, light, and life, Jesus is everything the people needed. But the Jews still challenged Jesus at every chance they found, arguing and insulting him, and they were looking for ways to trap him. They really wanted to get rid of him. And so one day Jesus was teaching in the temple when he was interrupted by scribes and Pharisees. They forced this woman into the center of their crowd, of their gathering, listening to the teachings, and said she'd been caught in the act of adultery. Well, the religious leaders hoped they could catch Jesus in something that would prove he was not the Messiah. The woman had violated their law of Moses, so the leaders were trying to force Jesus into pronouncing her guilty and authorizing her execution. But even though that would be upholding Jewish law, it would be breaking Roman law, and they were the only ones who could execute someone. Well, the scribes and the Pharisees said, "Hey, Rabbi, this woman has been caught in adultery. And in the law, Moses said we should stone this woman. What do you say?" Well, their real intention was to reveal Jesus as a lawbreaker and that he was breaking the Roman law. And so how did Jesus respond? Well, he stooped down and he began writing something in the sand. Now, there have been lots of theories. Scholars have studied this and tried to think what it could possibly have been that he wrote, because nobody really knows. Possibly it was a simple question: where was the man? The law in Deuteronomy and Leviticus said that both the man and the woman were supposed to be executed. But these men had only taken the woman to Jesus. Finally, Jesus stood up and he said, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her." And then slowly the crowd dispersed. Jesus said to her, "Go, and from now on, sin no more." And so instead of a stoning, she received grace and forgiveness. Well, so Jesus was narrowing his focus as we go along to a few central themes. He wanted to explain God's true nature as it was revealed by him. And it has three central parts: Jesus' relationship with his Father, Jesus' understanding of truth, and Jesus' identity as God. And so Jesus returns to his light and darkness themes by saying, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Perhaps this reminded people that God had been the constant source of light during Israel's time of wandering in the wilderness. Remember that? Well, the unbelievers who rejected him kept them in darkness, but the light of the world continued to shine in that darkness, and the darkness could not overcome Jesus' light. You can look at John, the first chapter of John, verse 5, to see that. So Jesus claimed God as his Father, and of course the Pharisees challenged that claim. And later Jesus said to them, "I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge," meaning God. Jesus also said he spoke only what he heard from the Father and did only what pleased the Father. Jesus also tried to tell the people about the nature of God, that God is one of grace and mercy, not rigid laws of behavior. Jesus also revealed his identity openly, which he didn't. There was a time that he didn't, but now he's just trying to get everybody to understand. And so he used the words I am, which the Jews knew as Yahweh, the name God used when he revealed himself at the burning bush in Exodus. Now, Jesus' use of this name is his direct claim to deity. I am, and God is I am, and we are one. So here's a question for you. Jesus said that truth sets us free. Is there an attitude, a thought pattern, or habitual sin that holds you in bondage? Bring it to God. Ask him to reveal the scriptural truth that will set you free in this area. And then ask him for power and courage to live in his truth. I hope that gives you lots to think about.